Hello, good morning, everyone. Wherever you are on the surface of this earth, I welcome you all to Success, strategies television. Okay, my name is Muiwa Adedayo. I am a lecturer. I am also an educational neuroscientist. Today, there is a very critical topic that I would like to share with my viewers all over the world. I've done my research, I've done my in-depth readings and reflection, and so it is based on the data that I've gathered that I decided to shoot this video in order to share insights, to share neurological ideas with our global audience. And so the topic of today is titled Educational Neuroscience Approach. The brain-led teacher teaching, and learning. I repeat, educational neuroscience approach, brain-led teaching and learning. This topic is extremely important, especially in this day and age where the social media is not only the social media but all other technologies of the fourth industrial revolution. All of these are really affecting our learning span and our attentional span, etc. So I have decided to shoot this video in order to help reduce a kind of learning distraction, and just to close the existing learning gaps in the global educational system. So at this juncture, as a tradition that I've established in this station, I would like to acknowledge some great neurological lights that have really helped me to increase my neuroscience and educational neuroscience kind of knowledge. The first individual is Professor Eric Kandel, of Columbia University. He's a Nobel laureate. The second person is Professor Wendy Suzuki of NYU. Jeff Lichtman of Harvard University, and so many other professors that are just too numerous for me to begin to make maybe references to because of our time. So the question becomes what is educational neuroscience? Educational neuroscience is simply the study of the brain and how the brain the knowledge of the brain relates to educational practice, educational theory development, etc. Then the second question becomes, what is educational neuroscience approach? Simply put, educational neuroscience approach has to do with the fact that whenever we are teaching, that it is important for a teacher or a lecturer to put the brain into cognizance, that whatever the teacher is doing, that it is important, I repeat, that the information and data that a teacher is maybe disseminating to the students, that those information are having a kind of a neurological impact in the brains of his or learners. Then another, and this is important to ponder on. Then another thing I think that is worth stressing here is that the educational neuroscience approach is simply it could be explained as the what as the scientific realization of the fact that education is simply a brain development, just like one of my mentors also said. His name is Professor Chris Kuma of Stanford University. He said education is simply brain development. Then another maybe additional point that is connected to the educational neuroscience approach is that okay that that educational neuroscience approach it is also the realization that learning and education both of this kind of phenomena actually they do what they change the brain, that as students actually go to attend schools, okay, that the information, the data, okay, the knowledge that teachers, okay, are impacting on the students, okay, all these are really transforming the pupils, the students, and the learners in general, their brains. Then another idea that is connected to educational neuroscience approach, okay, is the realization that learning, okay, learning actually, there's a connection between learning, okay, and some maybe cortical structures, okay, in the brain. Not only cortical structure, but subcortical structures in the brain. For example, okay, one of the structures, okay, that learning, okay, really alters, okay, it is called the hippocampus. Okay, the hippocampus is an organ, okay, in the brain, that is responsible for what, for the encoding of short-term memory. So the educational neuroscience approach, okay, gives the teacher, okay, that impression that, okay, what he or she is doing, okay, in the learning environment has the capacity of altering, okay, the hippocampus. Not only the hippocampus, but other organs that are dedicated to learning and memory. Then another maybe point that is worth stressing with regard to educational neuroscience approach is that it is important, okay, for policymakers, for educational policymakers, leaders, that whenever they want to design the curriculum, that it is important for them to really put insights from neuroscience, especially cognitive neuroscience. That there's a way that they need to do what, to tailor their curriculum, okay, to address, or to integrate insights, okay, from cognitive neuroscience into curriculum development. And by so doing, it's going to do what is going to really help, okay, in maybe transforming, okay, pedagogy. Is going to really help in, okay, achieving effective teaching in the classroom. Then one point that is also important, that is connected to this video, okay, is the fact that, okay, the educational neuroscience approach has to do with the fact that for learning, okay, to be able to take place effectively in the classroom, that first and foremost, okay, the teacher must understand that without attention, okay, there is no learning. Then, secondly, the brain, okay, dislike, uh, does not like stress, okay, environment. That the neurons in the hippocampus, for example, that when the learning environment is so hostile, that these neurons, what they do, or they switch off, okay, they become so impotent. So learning, okay, cannot really take place in a kind of a stressful or hostile academic, okay, environment. Then another point that is important for me to stress here is this: is the issue of, okay, dopamine. Okay, it is important, okay, for a teacher to understand that, okay, dopamine is one of the uh, the predominant neuromodulator, okay, in the brain, and it also helps in learning and memory consolidation. So if a teacher uses, okay, maybe dopamine strategy in order to arouse, okay, students' attention in class, okay, whatever that teacher or lecturer is teaching is going to be stored, okay, in the long-term memory, okay, of the students. So these are points that I realize that are worth sharing, and the ideas that are prompted, okay, this video. So thank you very much for your time, and do not forget, okay, to subscribe, okay, to this channel.